Absolutely confirmed. Souza to Tottenham is done. Fabrizio Romano says only final details remain before Spurs announce signing. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham have taken a decisive step in the January transfer window, with personal terms now fully agreed for Brazilian left-back Souza, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Spurs are no longer circling, they are moving, and this deal is rapidly approaching the finish line. According to Romano, Tottenham have reached a complete agreement with the 19-year-old defender over his contract, clearing one of the biggest hurdles in the transfer. With the player fully on board, talks between Spurs and Santos are now centred purely on final details, not whether the move will happen, but when. Brazilian journalist Lucas Musseti has also backed up the reports, stating that only minor clauses remain to be ironed out before the deal is officially completed. The total package is expected to land at around £15 million, significantly below Santos's initial demands, with the Brazilian club likely retaining a small sell-on percentage as part of the agreement. Crucially, Souza himself has made his intentions crystal clear. The young fullback has reportedly asked not to train with Santos as he focuses entirely on completing his switch to North London. His stance has accelerated negotiations and underlined just how desperate he is to make the leap to the Premier League and join Spurs immediately. Tottenham had an earlier proposal turned down, but the club never walked away. Instead, improved their approach and continued dialogue with Santos, confident the player's desire would tilt the balance. That patience now looks set to pay off. Inside Spurs, there is growing belief that Souza represents a long-term solution at left-back, a position the club have been eager to reinforce with youth, athleticism and upside. At just 19, the Brazilian is seen as a high-ceiling talent who can develop rapidly in England, while also offering immediate competition. Santos, aware that keeping an unsettled player serves no one, have softened their stance. While they initially pushed for a figure closer to £30 million, negotiations have shifted dramatically, with all parties accepting a far more realistic valuation to get the deal over the line swiftly. Barring any last-minute complications, Tottenham are now preparing to welcome their first confirmed signing of the January window. Personal terms are locked in. The player is ready. The clubs are closing in. All signs point in one direction. Souza to Tottenham is happening, and it's happening soon. Spurs hierarchy are already moving behind the scenes, and the message coming out of North London is brutally clear. Roberto De Zerbi sits at the very top of Spurs' managerial wishlist as pressure continues to suffocate Thomas Frank. Just 2 wins in the last 12 matches, a collapse in performances, and a league position that leaves Tottenham marooned in 14th place. For a club that sold ambition, progression and identity to its supporters, this run has been nothing short of disastrous. Patience is wearing thin not just on the terraces, but inside the boardroom. Sources indicate Tottenham are actively drawing up contingency plans, and De Zerbi's name is being mentioned more than any other. The Italian tactician, currently leading Marseille, is viewed internally as the manager capable of reigniting a squad that looks drained, disorganised and devoid of belief. De Zerbi's reputation in England remains sky-high. His spell at Brighton was not simply admired, it was studied. He transformed a well-run club into one of the most daring and technically accomplished sides in the Premier League, routinely outplaying teams with far bigger budgets. His football was aggressive, fearless and relentlessly progressive, built on bravery in possession and constant movement off the ball. Tottenham see that as exactly what they are missing. While Frank has struggled to impose authority and consistency, De Zerbi is regarded as a culture shifter, a coach who demands intensity, clarity and absolute commitment to his ideas. His fiery touchline persona often grabs headlines, but insiders insist it masks an elite-level tactician obsessed with detail, structure and player development. De Zerbi ticks several boxes Spurs deem non-negotiable. He plays front-foot football, prioritises attacking patterns, and isn't afraid to trust technically gifted players under pressure. For a fan base desperate to be entertained again, his profile fits like a glove. Tottenham are not rushing publicly, but internally the evaluation process is accelerating. The club knows results will dictate timelines. Should the current slump continue, a managerial change is expected to move from possibility to inevitability. And when that moment comes, De Zerbi is widely viewed as the man most likely to be handed the keys. In North London, the debate is no longer if change is coming, it's when. And all roads right now are pointing firmly towards Roberto De Zerbi. Tottenham's recruitment plans are taking a dramatic turn, and one name now being seriously discussed inside the club is Nico Williams. The Athletic Bilbao winger has emerged as a high-profile option as Spurs search for explosive quality out wide, with internal conversations suggesting the club are no longer thinking small. Williams, just 23, has established himself as one of La Liga's most reliable and feared wide attackers. Season after season, he has delivered pace, unpredictability, and end product, becoming a permanent fixture at San Mamés and a regular in Spain's national team setup. Tottenham's analysts see him as the kind of winger who can tilt matches on his own, something the current squad lacks far too often. The interest, however, comes with serious complications. Williams is locked into a contract that stretches all the way to 2035, underlining just how determined Athletic Bilbao are to build around him. That long-term deal places the Basque club in a position of enormous strength, and any potential move would require Tottenham to operate at a level they have historically avoided. The financial demands are eye-watering. Williams is currently earning in the region of £350,000 per week, a figure that would instantly shatter Tottenham's existing wage structure. No player at the club currently comes close to that level of pay, making this pursuit a potential watershed moment in Spurs' modern history. Sources suggest the new leadership at Tottenham are prepared to tear up long-standing policies that once defined the club's transfer strategy. The rigid wage ceiling associated with the previous regime is no longer seen as untouchable. Instead, there is growing acceptance that competing at the very top requires financial boldness, especially when elite talent is involved. Nico Williams represents exactly that kind of test case. Tottenham believe his age, consistency and international pedigree justify an aggressive approach. His ability to stretch defences, attack fullbacks one-on-one and deliver in high-pressure moments aligns perfectly with the attacking profile Spurs want to build. The challenge is convincing both Bilbao and the player. Athletic have no need to sell and will fight to keep their star, while Williams himself would need to be persuaded that a move to North London represents the right step at this stage of his career. That wraps up today's update. If you like this video and want to keep up with all the latest Tottenham news, be sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any updates. Remember to leave a like and share this video with fellow Spurs supporters. Together we can continue growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, come on you Spurs!